Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, I wanted to check up with you guys on my first day of the 21-day payday prep challenge. I guess that's what I can call it. So, believe it or not, it was actually a pretty good day today. I haven't had dinner yet, but what I've consumed today has sustained me very well. I haven't felt hungry all day long. For breakfast today, I had a cup of oatmeal with 2 teaspoons of brown sugar and a tablespoon of peanut butter. And I wet it down with some water, and then I put it in the microwave for a couple of minutes and let the oatmeal soak up all the water, and it was pretty tasty actually. I also sprinkled a tiny bit of salt on that. And for lunch I had some rice, what equated out to be probably about, I don't know, I would say probably be about a little less than a cup of rice raw. It was probably about 2 cups cooked. And of course I had some seasonings in there, but no seasonings that added to the nutritional value as far as calories and stuff like that. And I am now warming up some water to cook some pasta, to which I'm going to add about 1/7 of a pound, so roughly 2.5 ounces or so of legumes. And then I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of spaghetti sauce powder on that. That's what I'm going to consume for dinner. Haven't had soda all day. I actually feel okay. I did have about 1.5 cups of coffee without creamer today, so that's helped my caffeine addiction. By not having any soda, that coffee has actually helped my caffeine addiction for me not to be having any fits. But I actually feel pretty good. Not a bad start. I'll keep you guys updated every 2 or 3 days. Let you know how it's going, how I'm feeling, if I start getting depressed, if I start getting hungry more often or less hungry, and I'll let you guys know what's going on. I started growing some sprouts, and they're doing all right. And I actually grew some long enough to be able to taste it, and they're actually pretty good. I got some broccoli sprouts and some lettuce sprouts, and I think there were some kale sprouts. Well, I pulled one out of there yesterday that was nice and long. It was about 2 inches long, and I ate it, and it tasted just like broccoli. Believe it or not, I think I'm going to start using that to add to my foods that I like broccoli with, instead of actually buying broccoli, because it tasted just like broccoli and it was actually pretty tasty eating it raw like that. So in addition to updating you guys on the first day of my 21-day payday prep challenge, I wanted to just go over a small review, or a quick review of a little multifunctional flashlight, radio, and charger that I picked up off of Amazon. It's just a cheap Chinese-made little multifunction radio, but after using it for about the last week or so, this little thing actually works really well, and it does what it's supposed to do, and I think it does it pretty well. I paid, I think it was less than $17 for this thing here, and what came with it was this radio, as you can see here, and I'll rotate it around so you can see. It's got a flashlight. It's got a hand crank that you can power up, a couple of batteries in there that are equivalent to 2,000 milliamps. Now 2,000 milliamps, if you want to compare that to something, you would compare it to about 2 AAA batteries. So one AAA battery has, around 1,000, 1,100 milliamps, depending on what kind you get. And so this thing charges up to 2,000 milliamps, which is not bad. It's also got a little solar charger on the top. So you can charge this using solar, or you can charge it using a crank. And it also has a port back here that you can, let me see if I can show you guys very quick. It's got a port back here that you can use to charge off of a USB. And then the small port is to use to actually charge this unit. So you can charge this unit off of a wall plug as well. Now, I haven't figured out how many cranks it takes to fully charge this thing yet. What I did was I charged it off of the wall plug until it was fully charged. And then that charge was only enough of a charge to charge my cell phone like 1.5 times. So it completely charged my cell phone once, and then about a half of a charge after that. So it's not a bad little thing to have when you're in a pinch, especially if you don't want to spend money on something, or you don't have money to spend on something that's a lot more expensive, like the Goal Zero 250 torch that I'm going to review for you guys once I receive them and try them out. It's not a bad little thing to have when you're in a pinch. And the radio, believe it or not, works pretty well. I mean, and that's without the antenna even being up. As you can see here, it's got an antenna, and that's without the antenna even being up. The radio works pretty well. And the flashlight is not the best, but it works. As you can see, it works pretty good. In total darkness is actually pretty good. So you guys can see here. See, in total darkness, it actually works pretty good. I'm going to keep reviewing this, and when it's fully charged, I'm going to let you all know how long the flashlight lasts on this thing. But like I said, it's a pretty good little gadget to have for $17 or so. It also came with a USB cable, which is nice to have. Everyone probably has dozens of these, but it's nice to have this because you can just keep it in the box with it and you'll know it won't get lost. But like I said, I'm going to do another quick review on this once I establish how many cranks it takes to completely fill the battery, and once I can tell you how long the flashlight will last on a full charge. And I might as well also see how long it will take for it to charge just from the sun. Okay, I know when I charged it using my wall connection, it was probably about an hour and 15 minutes for it to charge using the wall connection. So that's pretty much all that I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen. So this will be a quick video. There's going to be another payday prep this week because the end of this week is payday. So I thought that I would leave you guys with a little food for thought. Off subject here, a little trivia and a little bit of food for thought. So back in 1960, we're talking about gold here. So back in 1960, the average home in the United States costs around $11,900. Okay? Today, the average home costs, or in 2017, the average home costs around $380,000 in the U.S. Okay? Back in 1960, you could buy an average home for 340 ounces of gold, and that was back when gold was priced at about $35 an ounce, back in 1960. It was actually $35.27, but I didn't bother messing around with the cents. I just went for the whole dollar, rounded it to the nearest dollar. Okay, so you can buy a house in 1960 with 340 ounces of gold. And as you know, that's back when the dollar was backed by gold. Okay, today you can buy a house for $380,000 at $1,300 an ounce of gold, which today I think is a little over $1,300, but I chose $1,300. I just rounded to the nearest hundred. So at $1,300 an ounce for gold, you can buy a $380,000 house for 292 ounces of gold. So you can buy the average home today for 48 ounces less in gold than you could in 1960. So what I'm trying to get you guys to think about here is, does gold hold its value over time? And in this case, it absolutely has, because you can buy the average home in the U.S. today for 48 ounces less of gold than what you could back in 1960. So if you want to say that gold actually appreciated a little bit, at least in the value of buying a home, you can say that. But I just wanted to put through to you guys that gold holds its value over time. If you look throughout history, you can compare gold to the price of oil, you know, back in 1960 to today, and you'll see that gold today can get you just as much oil, if not more, than what it did back in 1960. Same thing with a house. I thought that I would use an example that everyone is familiar with because it's easy to look up what the price of the average home is in the U.S. today as opposed to what it was in 1960. And it shows you how gold over time, over the last 50 plus years, has actually kept its purchasing power. Now, if you would have taken in 1960, if you would have taken $12,000 and stuffed it under your mattress, and let's say we could have even given you 2% inflation over that time, I don't think that it would have been able to buy you what it could buy you today, what the gold could buy you today. So I didn't actually do the math on if we can add inflation to that or see what it would have done for you if you would have put it in the stock market. I do know that gold has outperformed the stock market since this time era. So just food for thought, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any thoughts on this, I'd love to hear your comments. And if I was wrong in any of this, just let me know. I would definitely admit if I'm wrong. Just wanted to let you guys know that the dollars that you're working for, there's only one thing that a fiat currency can guarantee. There's only one guarantee that's associated with a fiat currency. The guarantee is that a fiat currency will buy you less year over year. That's the only guarantee you have with that piece of paper. Okay? Gold, precious metals, tangible items, they will keep their value over time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for today. I will probably do another video here in a couple of days. Hopefully those other flashlights will come in. I'll keep messing around with this one and give you more info on this one, just in case you guys want to wait before you get it. But like I said, I got this off of Amazon for, I think it was under $17. So it's pretty cheap investment to have to make sure that you can charge up your phone or have a flashlight that doesn't actually need batteries or energy from a different source in order to charge it. You can charge it on your own. So just remember, ladies and gentlemen, to be good to yourselves and be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. And reach one, teach one, repeat. If everyone were to do this, the world would be a better place. No, it will be a better place. And many blessings to all of you and your families. This is Alaska Prepper, and I'm out.